Okay, we're here with the 10-minute student video. I have chosen the topic of making a life-long plan or a long-range career plan for my talk, and I'm going to do that in three ways. I'm going to first of all talk about the importance of having a job in order to fulfill one's long-range plan. Number two, getting an education to allow one to achieve one's long-term plan. And then finally, maintaining wellness throughout one's life in order to achieve that plan. So I'm going to use the example of going to law school as a long-range plan. So the first thing I'm going to talk about then is jobs. So if one does choose to go to law school, one would probably need to have a job in order to supply the funds that would be required to attend law school, as well as all of the courses leading up to law school. So law school is a 3-year degree, and you're looking at a tuition of anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 a year at the low end for a public school, up to somewhere in the range of $50,000 to $60,000 a year on the high end. So all of that is either going to have to come through one's own funds, through loans, or through income. So income can come from a variety of sources. One can either work for it through a job, or they could get it through investing. But usually one needs to have money from a job or from an inheritance or because they've married into it before they can invest. So what we're going to talk about today then is getting money through a job. So if one's going to go to law school, there are some jobs that are more ideal than others to get one's not only the funds then to go to law school, but also to obtain experience that would be useful in law school and make one's application stronger. So you would be looking not only to pay for the tuition for law school, but then also hoping to get a job that's ideal for building one's resume to submit a competitive application. So some of the jobs that would be good for applying to law school would be working for a judge. Another one would be working for a law firm. And a third one would be doing some research with a law professor that provides some kind of either a stipend or money from a grant. So to get a job clerking for a judge, one would first of all need to find a judge that's looking for a clerk. Once you've done that, you would want to prepare a resume. You could probably get a template for writing the resume online if you don't know how to write a resume. And then you're going to want to include any sorts of information that would be useful to applying to a job for a judge. So if you've had any sort of legal experience in the past with cases that are of interest to the judge, for example, an administrative law judge deals with topics surrounding administrative law. So any sorts of cases involving, for example, disability, if that's the administrative law judge's field, or if it's anything to do with administrative law, that would be an ideal kind of experience to put on the resume. So once you've got your resume, you're going to submit it then to the law judge, and you're going to wait maybe a week or so for a response. And if you don't get a response, you can follow up at that time with another letter asking if the resume was received and that you are hopeful that your experiences are in line with their needs and that you hope to hear from them soon. So getting a job is one way then to raise the funds that one is going to need to apply to law school. Now let's talk then about the actual education that one needs to go to law school. So in order to get into law school, one is going to generally need to have a bachelor's degree, and there are some degrees that are probably better than others for going to law school. Political science is a good degree, English is a good degree, communication is a good degree. Some degrees that probably wouldn't be as useful would be things like mathematics, chemistry, biology. So, the sorts of skills that one needs as a lawyer are logical thinking, good writing skills, good debate skills, and those are skills that come from some of those ideal majors that I mentioned. Skills in science can be a useful skill in law. So if you happen to already have strong debating skills and strong writing skills and feel like you don't necessarily need to develop those skills through further education, then there is a big need for lawyers who have skills in science. One such field would be a patent lawyer, one who's able to understand patent applications, which oftentimes involve understanding the science behind an application. So one can certainly enhance one's resume, one's educational level in order to get into a competitive law school if one has not only the background in communication skills, but then also enhances those skills with a science background. But if you're just looking to go into law school and not sure what sorts of courses you need to take and you just want to be a general lawyer, well, you're going to want to take something that allows you to develop your thinking skills and your writing skills and your debating skills. And so that's going to be one of those majors that helps you to develop that. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about job requirements that one probably would need to fulfill if you're just a middle-class student looking to go to law school. And we've talked a little bit about the education requirements for going to law school. And now what we're going to shift into is wellness during the time that one is looking to go to law school. So one would want to make sure that they've put aside the time to have a life study work balance during the undergraduate years leading up to the time that one would go to law school, and then they would want to maintain those skills once law school starts. So wellness, as we've learned in this course, involves several things. It involves sleeping right, it involves eating right, it involves financial management. And so all of those things come together then in wellness. So one would want to try to sleep 8 hours a day. One would want to try to eat nutritious food. One would want to try to live within their means and hopefully put away 10% of their funds for savings. Now, all of that oftentimes comes out of not only being on top of one's sleep, exercise, and diet and finances, but as we learned, also spirituality. So, if you do all of those things and leave out spirituality, sometimes that can lead to wellness problems. So, wellness, as we have learned in this course, is multifaceted. One really needs to pay attention then to all of these things when considering wellness. And so, being on a regular exercise routine, walking an hour a day is an excellent way to get exercise. And then, eating nutritious food, hopefully a lot of it probably being prepared on your own because it is very expensive to buy prepared food. And you want to make sure that you are balancing out your purchasing of expensive foods so that you do have enough savings to go to law school. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up here in the last minute, kind of summarizing what I've said. We've talked about a long-range plan for going to law school, which is a 3-year program. So prior to that, you've got up to 2 years then at a transfer school, getting ready to transfer to a 4-year university to finish up your bachelor's degree in either communication or English or communication, political science, and maybe a science degree if you already have a background in communication or political science. And then you're going to want to try to have a job that allows you to build up a savings to pay for the law school, which can be anywhere from $30,000 a year for a public school to $60,000 for a private school, all the while maintaining your wellness. Okay, so we'll wrap it up there. Thank you.